from attending the 45th ASEAN-EU Commemorative Summit, the president excitedly shared that their delegation has secured more than 9 billion pesos worth of investment pledges. The chief executive also divulged that he had productive bilateral meetings with several European leaders, which will further boost the country's chances of developing many meaningful partnerships in various fields of collaboration. Mark Vitalco has more.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. reported a successful trip to Europe following his attendance to the ASEAN-EU Commemorative Summit in Brussels, Belgium. In his arrival speech in Villamor Air Base in Pasay City tonight, the president reported his first visit to Europe since he became the president, secured 9.8 billion pesos worth of investment pledges.
I'm also pleased to announce that European business confidence in the Philippines is high, as evidenced by the expansion plans of European companies that we met in the sectors of fast-moving consumer goods, in shipbuilding, renewable energy, and green metals.
The presidential plane PR-001 carrying the president and his delegation arrived 6:58 p.m. at the Villamor Air Base in Pasay City. The president said he exchanged views with his counterparts on ASEAN-EU cooperation, particularly on areas of mutual interest and concern such as connectivity, trade, digital transition, food security, climate change, and geopolitics. He said he was honored to deliver one of the opening remarks during the summit, where he presented the recent milestones in ASEAN-EU relations under the Philippines coordinatorship, the adoption of the ASEAN-EU Plan of Action for 2023 to 2027, and the successful conclusion of the first-ever summit between ASEAN and EU leaders.
I also welcome the adoption of the Joint Leaders Statement at the ASEAN-EU Commemorative Summit, which is the product of intensive discussions between ASEAN and EU member states.
The chief executive also shared the Philippines' perspective on deepening ASEAN-EU trade through efforts in sustainable development at the 10th ASEAN-EU Business Summit. Moreover, he also met with several business leaders from different European companies, all of them committed to be a part of the country's development and economic growth, particularly in renewable energy, infrastructure, food security, and climate change.
I am happy to be able to announce that I have met with various leading ship owners all over Europe, and we were able to get their commitment to help our country hurdle some of the challenges in our seafarers' EMSA accreditation through the creation of an advisory council composed of our concerned government agencies, international and local ship owners, and other stakeholders.
At the sidelines of the summit, President Marcos met with different European leaders, including King Philip of Belgium, whom he invited to visit the Philippines again. He also held bilateral meetings with his counterparts from the European Council, European Commission, Estonia, Sweden, Czech Republic, the Netherlands, and Spain, whom he identified many possible areas of further development and future partnerships. He said he will follow this up until they come to fruition.
Finally, my trip would not be complete without meeting, of course, our fellow Filipinos who are living in Belgium. However, it was not just limited to Belgium, as many came from as far as Italy, Poland, Germany, and Belgium to be with us at the gathering. It was a very fulfilling event, as I was able to personally thank them for their support. I was also able to hear their concerns and update them on the priorities of this administration.
The president was welcomed by Vice President Sara Duterte, First Lady Liza Marcos, and some of his cabinet members. Mark Vitalco for The Nation.